Joining me now is the Democratic Congressman Raja Krishnamoorthi from Illinois. He's a member of the House Oversight and Reform Committee and the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you for being with us. You know, there's some people who are really worried about what Donald Trump said about Liz Cheney. In fact, the Attorney General of Arizona is actually investigating this as a possible crime. And there are others who say, come on, that's just Donald Trump being Donald Trump. He talked about guns being trained on Liz Cheney, whom he has denigrated as an opponent for a long time. And it is part of a pattern of violent discussion that Donald Trump has.
That's right. As someone who survived 2 assassination attempts, you'd think you'd know better. But what we know is 3 things about this. One is that violent rhetoric produces violence. Secondly, I think that it continues to cause divisions in our society right now, at a time when we have to come together. I was in line the other day to early vote, Ali, and some people greeted me, and other people basically. One person looked at me and said, "I hate you." I haven't heard that type of venom in a long time. And then the third is, I think that this was yet another example of his misogyny. He doesn't like it when strong women speak up against him. Liz Cheney is one of them. Kamala Harris is another. And so this type of rhetoric, I guess, fits a pattern of violently kind of talking about women. And again, I think it drives the gender gap, among other things.
In a rally yesterday afternoon, Donald Trump said that his closing message to American voters was that Vice President Harris hates America and that you can't be the president if you hate the American people. I mean, I will say, listening to her campaign and listening to his campaign, his is filled with vitriol and what seems to be hate and racism that pops up every now and then, identifying particular groups, the Haitians and cats and dogs, the comment at his rally about Puerto Ricans. And Kamala Harris is talking about together we can, that we don't have to have this future, that we can have the freedom to move together and do things. He's turned this thing upside down. That seems like a poor closing argument, but clearly he does this because it works for him.
Look, I personally think that you win through addition and multiplication, not subtraction and division. So I think Kamala Harris's approach in these final days makes a lot of sense. What I think is likely going to happen is that a lot of those Republican women that we talk about, those shy Kamala voters, I think are going to be reinforced in their belief that they have to support Kamala Harris. I think a lot of Republican men are going to do the same thing. But in any case, I personally believe that his type of rhetoric, his type of approach is not only counterproductive and dangerous, but it's something that we as a country have to condemn and hopefully, toss on the waste bin after this election.
You, Senator Ron Wyden and Congressman Jamie Raskin have requested that the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, investigate whether Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, was operating as an unregistered foreign agent for Saudi Arabia. According to the letter from the lawmakers, this whole issue of Saudi Arabia investing $2 billion in Jared Kushner's private equity fund, despite the fact that Jared Kushner at the time had no investment experience, and the board governing that decision said he had no experience, and that was not right. In a statement, Jared Kushner has said there's no conflict of interest and called the letter, quote, silly political stunts and beneath the level of seriousness that both of their chambers deserve. I don't know if I share that view. This is not only a powerful guy, it's a powerful guy who could have more power if Donald Trump is reelected.
Well, look, I think that you're absolutely right. Nobody was investing in Jared Kushner's fund because of his excellent investment returns. They were trying to get something else. And by the way, you and I spoke about this years ago when he sought security clearances, and he was desperate for cash. He ended up getting a bailout essentially from the Saudis, and the question is, what are they getting in return? I think that perhaps one of the things they're seeking in return is for him to help influence foreign policy. And if that is the case, that's the classic situation of someone being paid by a foreign government to represent them, to advocate for them, and that would be a foreign agent. And so I think it's appropriate that Senator Wyden and my colleague Jamie Raskin ask the DOJ to investigate this.
Congressman, good to see you. Thank you for joining us this morning. The Democratic Congressman Raja Krishnamoorthi of Illinois.